What's going on, guys? This is JT here. Welcome back to Skylanders. In this video, I'm going to be awakening and also showing some gameplay of the 5-star nat Robo, who in my opinion does have some potential in this game. No doubt about that. So let's go ahead and get into his skills first. We got one arrow shot. This is also the skill that does get awakened, and it fires a tech arrow at the enemy. Now, one thing to note, when you awaken this skill, which I believe this is going to probably be his best skill, especially since it's only a 1 mana cost skill, does have a 22-second cooldown, but that's okay. So once you awaken it, it now makes it an explosive arrow, which fires an explosive arrow at the enemy and casts parts on the target for 3 turns. The key there is casting parts on the target, no doubt about that. If you guys do not know what parts does, let's go ahead and read it right here. So it says, increases debuff count when debuffed. So what that means exactly is if a target has parts on it, anything, it can be a boss, it can be any type of mob out there. If it has parts on it and then a debuff is cast on that target specifically, it increases the debuff count. So let's say, for example, you're using Nightfall and you cast Diminish on that target. Well, if the Diminish count is 2 and the target has parts on it, that Diminish count will then go to 3. So that's very positive for a ton of debuffs in this game. So let's say, for example, you cast Freeze, Heal Down, anything that's a debuff, instead of being 1 turn or 2 turns, whatever it is, if it has parts on it, it then increases the turns. I'll go ahead and show you guys some testing as well. Now, one thing that I found that parts does not really work that well on is explosives. So, for example, Boomer. When you cast Explode on the target, it brings, let's say, like for Boomer, for example, it's Explode for 5 turns. It then makes Explode for 6 turns, which not only takes away from the part buff that you have on the target, it also adds an Explode count for the Explode, which is pretty bad in my opinion, right? Because you want those to go ahead and explode and do more damage right away. So let's go ahead and get into the next skills. We got Deconstruction Laser, which does cast parts for 3 turns, but the only problem with this is it's a 5 mana cost skill, which is like super expensive. I can't wait to actually test out the damage. We're going to run, I don't have any runes on Robo now, but I am going to put some attack runes and some strike runes on Robo to see what this guy can do in battle, because honestly I haven't even tested him yet. We also got Robo Rampage, which is a 6 mana cost skill. Again, very expensive. It losses a blitz attack on the enemy, 50% chance to gain attack up for 3 turns when attacking life or earth element opponents, which is very interesting to me because, yeah, it is a 50% chance. You can get it to 60% chance if you do level this up, which isn't 100%, which is kind of bad considering it is a 6 mana cost skill. If you use this skill and don't get the attack up, that's going to be really depressing, no doubt about that, depending on what you're fighting. But not only that, if you notice, it says an attack up for 3 turns when attacking life or element opponents, which is very weird to me, and I'm also wondering if this is a typo. I guess I could test this out, but life and earth is what tech has a disadvantage to, right? So why would you ever be using really tech fighting against life or earth? I don't really understand. That might actually be a typo because I believe what tech is strong against is what? Fire and magic, I believe. Fire and magic. Yeah, fire and magic is what tech is strong against. So maybe that's supposed to say fire and magic. Again, I'm not 100% sure. So we got Control Alt Defeat, which is his passive, which I actually think is very interesting. Can't wait to test this out. We got a 60% chance to transform into a giant drill when a target is under parts or casting the effect on. Pretty cool. I mean, that's just additional damage. It's kind of like the Ninjini proc, right? A chance to get a lot of additional damage. If this hits for a lot, I could see this being pretty freaking good, no doubt about that. We also have Skill Initialization, which his leader skill is very interesting, and this is another reason why I think he could be used for some speed runs in the future. We got a 30% chance to decrease the skill cooldown time by 3 seconds when using a skill, and this can go up to 50%. So all in all, that could be pretty awesome. All right, so let me go ahead and show you guys exactly what parts does and how it's going to be used. So let's go ahead and get into Distorted Dimension. Where should we go? We can go in again. Actually, you know what? Let's just go in the Beast Lab. And should we go up against fire? Maybe that's a little bit too strong. Yeah, let's actually go up against magic. That makes more sense. Yeah, here we go. I already have this set up. Yeah, so let's go up against magic. We will bring Robo in. Actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and awaken Robo. That way his first skill gives us parts also. Yeah, so let's go ahead and awaken this bad boy. Now we got parts coming on. 160,000 gold. We'll go ahead and use that. Robo has a pretty nice little awaken right there. Changes his color to red, which is very nice. Gives him a lot more HP, 332 more attack, which is pretty freaking beast as well. I mean, his base attack's 3120, which is pretty good. That's not too far behind Buckshot. Also, you got 97 accuracy on Robo as well, which is pretty nice. 130 crit damage is nice, and you got 90 effect accuracy, which you're going to need effect accuracy because parts is an effect, right? So let's go ahead and get back into the Magic Dungeon. We'll just go into Magic 8. Again, we're not really trying to defeat this or anything like that. I'm just showing you guys exactly how parts work. So we'll go ahead and throw in parts, and let's go ahead and get into battle. Now, Kingpin actually has a debuff as well, so we'll take it off auto. We'll go ahead and use this right on. Give me, oh wow, of course you resisted parts. All right, we got parts right there. Let's go ahead and get parts up again. Oh, Control Alt Defeat came through there too. That was pretty nice. Control Alt Defeat, not bad. Let's go ahead and use this AoE from my Gulper. That way attacks come on through Gulper. Look at that, man. That's actually some decent damage. I don't want my Hex dying, so let's go ahead and use the Gulper skill. We'll use parts. We'll try to get parts on these last two guys. And then we'll go ahead and use the AoE from Hex. Again, I don't have any runes on Hex, so again, don't really look at the damage. So you'll notice right here, when we use Hex's skill, Hex freaking casts Diminish, Heal Down, and free... Oh, wow. Of course, Hex is dead. All right, we'll go ahead and use Frost Tear Breath, which one-shots everything? Oh, my gosh, that's insane. All right, we got to back out of this. Goodness gracious, sorry about that. I guess I will only try to put parts on like one or... We'll try to put parts on two things instead of so many different things. That way my Hex doesn't die. I guess I could have put runes on Hex, but we don't really want Hex killing stuff either. All right, so let's go ahead and cast parts right on the middle guy. Come on, don't resist. Okay, nice. And we'll cast on this middle guy too. We'll go ahead and get the Gulper buff up. That drill is actually pretty freaking cool. Alright, so now when we use Rain of Skulls right here, it casts Diminish, Heal Down, and Freeze for one turn. Now you'll notice these enemies that do have parts on them, it's going to say 2 turns now, unless it gets resisted. So there we go. We went ahead and casted it right there. Just take a peek. So you'll notice the main guy in the middle has Diminish for 3 turns. We got Heal Down for 2 turns and Freeze for 1 more turn. So parts is completely, or not completely used up, but it only has 2 procs left, which is very nice. So if we were to actually use this Frost Tear Breath and he did not die, this target would now be frozen. Instead of 2 turns, it would then be frozen for 3 turns, which is freaking awesome. I mean, a freeze for 3 turns, I can see that very viable, especially with a couple of other debuffs in this game. Diminish being one of the debuffs that this could be very, very, very strong against. So you guys get the point now. Basically just increases, depending on, or any of the debuffs, whatever debuff is casted on that target, will then get +1 on the total effect amount. So yeah, let's go ahead and throw some runes on Robo. I'm just going to switch over my runes from, let me see, switch over my runes from Ember. Yeah, I got some really good attack, or some decent attack runes on Ember. So we'll just go ahead and switch all runes from Ember onto Robo, because Robo is attack as well. And I want to see him do some serious damage. All right, why do I not have, oh, I must be using a, yeah, here we go. All right, let's go ahead and use this strike rune. We got more action coming from Ember. Actually, you know what? I want some effect accuracy. That way the parts goes through. We'll go ahead and take that rune off of Hex. And let's see. Where's my other 2 Ember runes? Where you add in by rune. Do I really have 2 5-star runes on my Ember? Oh. Alright, so we got some 5-star action on Ember, but that's okay. I needed that for the strike set. And last but not least, let's go ahead and put this attack rune on Robo as well. So let's take a quick look at his stats. We got 10,800 attack. That is pretty beast. 150 crit damage, 97 accuracy still, and effect accuracy is at 150. So part should not be getting resisted. So let's go ahead and get into, let's go into Beast Lab 9. And since we took Ember's runes off, we'll go ahead and replace with Ember here. And let's use this, because we could actually probably use some frost breath action for the additional freeze. And why not? I'll show you guys. It's not really a positive to use Robo with Boomer here, because like I said, the bombs do get increased for a turn, which is kind of negative in my opinion. So yeah, let's just go ahead and run this at ×3 speed. And yeah, ×3 speed should be fine. It does. Actually, you know what? Yeah, whatever. We'll go ahead and run times 3 speed. Let's see the damage here. We got 3,000 attack there. 5,000 on that part, which is pretty impressive. Now, both of those guys do have parts. Frostier Breath did not kill him, as you guys can see right there. All those buffs did get increased. I mean, we got 2 times freeze on the middle guy and the guy on the right of that, which is very nice, honestly, because that thing is not even going to attack now, right? So, yeah, I mean, overall, I feel like Robo is going to be pretty solid. I mean, his damage actually is not bad. Take a look at this damage. That was 6,000 right there from that main attack. That has a very low cooldown. It is a 5-mana attack as well, though. 6,000 from a single crit. We got 5,000 damage coming from a base attack from parts. I would say that's okay. Now, this is running auto, so I'm just letting things go. Skills have been reduced. The cooldown's been reduced on all skills, which is going to be very nice, in my opinion, for wave clears for bombs. But again, like, parts really runs negative against bombs, which is the sad thing. Or just AoE clears in general. I guess it'll be really good with Hex's cooldown all in all. No doubt about that. I mean, let's see. Let's get some damage in from our Robo here before we kill this B9 boss. What do we got coming from Robo's main attack here as far as damage on the boss? We got basically 7,000. I mean, it's a double hit, which is pretty nice. The explosive arrow actually hits for a pretty good bit as well, in my opinion. All in all, I mean, I'm a Robo fan. Let's take it off auto and bring him in. That way we can see a little bit more action from Robo. Sell this. We do not need that. Let's go ahead and exit, and let's get back in. All right, we'll take it off of auto. And let's go ahead and line these guys up with some damage. All right, we're going to be hitting, man, we're going to be one-shotting some of this stuff, actually. Ooh, we did one-shot that right there with the drill. That was pretty crazy. All right, so parts came on. Control-Alt-Defeat proc twice in a row. That's not even leveled up. Almost basically one-shotting some of these mobs in B9, which all in all is pretty... Wow, it proc 3 times in a row. It almost one-shot that middle guy. I mean, parts isn't even going to show an effect if this stuff gets one-shot, right? So you're going to need things that do have a lot of life for this to be useful at the most. I mean, goodness gracious, that proc 4 times in a row. That's pretty crazy. And my boomer's about to go down. All right, let's go ahead and send some AoE out there. Oh, that's too bad. If we use parts after effect, it doesn't work on the cooldown, right? Like, this isn't going to bring that to +5. No, okay, yeah, so it's only on things that come after parts have been cast. So parts need to actually be on the target first. So like this target right here, for example, this one over here on the far left, you'll notice we cast it bombs. Wow, it killed them. Man, we need to go into B10, I guess. Goodness gracious, man. All right, there's some parts actually. Let's go ahead and use Frostier Breath. Let's get some use out of our parts. There we go. We got 4 turns worth of freeze on that guy. That guy's not going to be attacking for quite a while with 4 turns of freeze. He's like, man, I got freeze on me, bro. What should I do? You can't do anything, dude. You're all frozen up, man. Your skill cooldowns are completely reduced, and you're in trouble. Oh, wait, what? How did he attack with all those freeze cooldowns? Oh, okay, it just reduced his skill cooldown. It actually doesn't reduce his attack time. I misinterpreted how freeze works. Okay, that's good testing right there. I didn't realize that. So, yeah, it probably brought his skill. Let's say it was a 5-second cooldown, maybe to like a 10-second cooldown. Now, it does work turn by turn, which is pretty nice as well. All right, let's go ahead and light up this boss with... Let's try to just kill him with Robo, just so we can get some damage out there. So we got 3,000 procs coming from that. We got the Control-Alt-Defeat coming out with 3 attacks. That was actually around 2,500 total damage with these runes. So not too bad coming on with the Control-Alt-Defeat. Let's go ahead and bring in... Yeah, let's get in some Frostier Breath too after this attack. That way we can freeze up this boss a little bit. Let's freeze him up. What else do we cast? We cast Accuracy down as well, right? Yeah, so we got an Accuracy down there for 2 turns. We also got freeze up for 4 turns, which is nice. Let's go ahead and cast a little more action. Let's get a kill in with Robo right here. Ooh, look at that. That was 3,600 bonus damage, which is pretty nice from Control-Alt-Defeat. I'm feeling the Control-Alt-Defeat. I feel like that's going to be a nice little help, especially since parts. I mean, parts is still pretty good, but that just adds some addition to how good it is, right? So yeah, you guys get the point of what Robo does. I'll definitely be doing some more experiments with Robo whenever I find him a little bit more useful. I haven't really found a perfect match for him yet besides Diminish. I'm like, he'd be super good with Diminish. But all in all, I mean, a lot of these other things, I mean, it's okay with freeze, but I mean, honestly, freeze, most characters that cast freeze normally cast it for 2-3 turns anyway, and then their skills up again. That way it's ready to cast it for another 2 or 3 turns, right? So parts I really wouldn't feel like would work that great, but it will definitely shine with diminish, no doubt about that. Anyway, guys, hope y'all enjoyed the video. I am out of here for now.
If my dog Mila catches this frisbee, you have to subscribe. Are you ready, baby? Don't let daddy down, baby. What you got, baby? Woo! Don't forget to hit that bell as well.